Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome to another edition of Track Walk in MX Simulator, our fourth installment of Track Walk in Sim this week, and coming to you with a fresh one as we are doing Sky Madness round number 7 by Storken, the man, the myth, the legend, Wall-amped Walmart, whatever you want to call him. He reached out to me as I was starting my week of track walks earlier this week and said, hey, I have a Sky Madness coming. And I said, oh boy. And yeah, I guess he finished it. And now we're going to play it and hate life, I guess. I don't know. I've done, I think, all the other Sky Madnesses so far. I may have missed one, but so far these have been pretty popular with you guys. I know, like, it's MX Simulator. It's supposed to be a simulator, so why are we playing these weird platforming tracks? But I mean, they are kind of like unique to watch, I guess, just for the fact that you don't like see this in racing games usually, where there's like platforming involved and you have to go from, you know, through these crazy loops and jumps and stuff like that. So I always like doing the Sky Madness tracks just because they are a very interesting and unique break from the norm. And we had about the most norm of normal track walks yesterday with the Gatorback Cycle Park. So went from a real track to a very unreal track today. And kudos to Storken for hammering out a track. I know he didn't do it like specifically for this track walk series or anything like that, but it's so cool that he reached out and was like, hey, I saw you're doing this thing. I'd like to, you know, finish this track and have you play it. And I was like, sure, that sounds great, because I love these. And so here we are. This one, I've already done a full lap on it, just to like make sure that I know what to expect, I guess. I do that just because if the lap is going to take me like 45 minutes, then I have a much different approach when I do the video. So I'm not exactly like surprised by anything here, but I am gonna have a tough time on a lot of things. And because I know that I can get over everything because I've already done it, I want to actually try to do every obstacle and like actually do it. So I'm sorry that a lot of this video is probably going to be me being stuck on like 1 or 2 obstacles, because the second I get stuck on one, it'll take me like 10 minutes and then I'll finally get it. And then we move on to the next obstacle and yada, yada, yada. So I go through obstacles really fast, and then I come up to one that I take forever on, and that's just how this whole Sky Madness thing works. But yeah, this first obstacle that I'm stuck on was another obstacle that took me a little bit of time to finally get down, and I just don't remember how I did it. I know I like jumped up onto it and kind of like skidded sideways across it. It's supposed to be like a wall jump, but you just have, or a wall ride, but you just have no speed into it, so you can't really attack it like a wall ride. Like I can't jump and cork a whip into it or anything like that so that I land perched on the wall. I just kind of have to throw my bike at it and hope that I land just at the right angle to ride alongside of it like that. But I digress. This is probably going to take me a very long time to get down. But I've done it once, so like I said, it's more about I've already done it. I don't want to sit here and ignore that these obstacles exist. And he has these white lines all over the jumps too, which I can only assume are timing gates this time. I don't know that for a fact, but he's never had these white lines before, so I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. Nailed it. Okay. That obstacle took me forever the first time, so I'm glad I got over it. Next up, this is like a triple wall ride to jump. Very tricky section, and you just kind of have to... It sucks because the front wheel on these rickety jumps that he's built, because they're all really pointy, have you know, not the best terrain on it. Like they're very... I can't think of the word of it. They're very... There's a word here. I'm trying to think of it. Jagged. That's the word I was thinking of. The very jagged edges, and that's just because he's built everything like straight up and down. JLV made this game so things can't be on top of each other, so the second you have stuff that is like really close to being on top of each other, you get these jagged lines. So close. So these wall rides are jagged, and the front end doesn't like to stick on them very well, but we'll still try to make it happen. If I'm gonna get stuck on these up ramps all day long, I'm just gonna be livid. And I'm playing the practice version, which I think I've mentioned before. With these, they come with ramps so that you don't have to try to do the track perfectly every single time and then reset when you inevitably don't get it. I just like that because this would be a terrible video if I didn't do it with the ramps. Oh my gosh, why? Why is it little notch at the end of the second one? It's just got like a gnarly kicker on it, and it just doesn't like when you go a little bit too fast at it, I guess. I guess I'm kind of like leaning back too, so you know that part doesn't help, but what? That was ridiculous. Doesn't help you have to bunny hop between each jump either, I suppose. But that's what these are supposed to be hard for. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not called, you know, Sky Fairies. It's Sky Madness. It's meant to be hard. And yeah, Storken made this one difficult. Why? Why am I not getting that now? I got it perfectly fine. I was getting onto the second one, no problem, and now I'm popping onto the second one and not getting it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I gotta go higher on the embankment? Maybe lower to higher? What? Like, that feels perfect right there. And I'm even just popping over in second gear with a little lean back on it, and it just stalls out on the next jump. And I can see that there's very clearly a lip on it, so I guess I don't need to pop. Maybe it just will naturally kind of do it, but then this happens. Oh, if I could back out of this and continue on, this would be amazing, but I don't think that's going to happen. I hope I'm not stuck, too. I may have just got the front end stuck in a little nook here. That's annoying. I don't think I can get out of this unless maybe I shift up out of it. I think I'm fully stuck. Oh, maybe it's coming out. Oh, come on. Come on. Let's take a look at how bad this looks. It's my front end just completely knifed down. Oh yeah. It's not looking too sharp. The front fork is, I should be able to get through that. There it is, okay. Nope, didn't stay on it. Alright, so I've made it, what, a corner? 2 corners? And I got completely stuck on one section. I guess if it gets so bad that I'm stuck on these sections repeatedly, I might just say, screw it, and skip the section, but I really wanted to get each section actually completed. Why? Why? What the hell? What is that? I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm going from the same spot on the jump to the next spot, and it's just, what the hell? Turn. Alright, that's it. No more funny business. I'm just sending caution to the wind. And it works. Up, up. We're good. It's fine though because I'm just dropping down to that ledge right there, so it didn't really matter. That's like the cleanest I've landed on that pad too, so that was kind of cool. Now this section, it should be super easy, but for some reason it just, I don't get it right. It's just like a little front flip jump to a tabletop to a gapper to another tabletop, and then this is where it's hard. You have to get this, and then just, come on, stop on the pad, stop on the pad. Forget it. You get the section. It's a very simple section. You just have to land on that little knuckle before and then pop over this table to the landing right here. And the landing is really short, so you have to somehow get it stopped. But I'm just going to say screw it and say we got it, because it's a very simple section, and to get stuck on it this entire time is ridiculous. Now this is really fun here. So you come to this section and there's all these question mark boxes. You're like, what the heck? And then up here there's a sign that says path, and you're like, what is that supposed to mean? But if you go forward, you hit an invisible wall. So this path is actually how to get through the invisible wall. So you have to ride very carefully along the edge here, and then you'll hit another invisible wall. But if you remember how the path goes, you go up, turn right, you kind of go back here, and Look, I'll even show you. So if I go straight right here, I'm going through, but I can hit in another invisible wall right there. It looks so stupid probably for you guys because you just don't like feel it. You don't feel exactly the same thing I'm hitting, but promise you there's actually an invisible wall there. Oh, come on. How am I not going to land on that? Well, made it through the invisible wall section. That one's more simple. Everything from here, well, not everything from here, but most stuff from here is quite difficult. So we'll just continue on, a little kind of rhythm section up the hill. Little jumper over the top. And this is really cool. Storken added these billboards here to promote himself, so I'll give him some promotions. Storken MXS all across the board: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Facebook appears to have a Storken Space MXS going on there. But then he also put a billboard up of my stuff, so that's really cool. Thanks for that. You guys could definitely go follow all of our stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, you're already here. But our Instagram account, our Twitter account, and our Facebook account are actually all in the description below. And definitely check out StartYourSystems.com, your favorite place that you've never heard of. All right, let's go ahead and dive under this log to continue on. I'll land it. Oh, nice. So these are part of his How Low Can You Go series, How Low Can You Go version 2. And I've done this section a couple times, but I can't seem to not hit the logs. But you just kind of like scrub this really hard and I don't know, like there's got to be a way to not hit the logs that I just can't get right. But so far, every single time I just scrub really hard, hit the bottom of the logs and crash, but it just kind of just gets me onto the next plateau. Like I'd imagine you have to scrub this like super hard to get it right, but that's what I'm saying. So I've done this probably every single time I've tried it, and it works. Like I get onto the plateau, whatever. I'm not going to sit there and dwell on it, but I'm sure there's a better way to hit that I just haven't figured out. Now after this log right here is one of the tougher sections that took me a little while to figure out, because you have to go under this log and then hit a big double across a gap that is not small enough that if I just went to the other side of the log and tried to clear it, it works. So you have to somehow scoot under this log and then stand back up to hit the double, and it is really hard. Like I'm gonna hit the log probably 14 times now that I mentioned how hard it is. If I just went and did it the first time, I would probably gone under it and done it no problem, and you guys wouldn't even know the difference. But yeah, like I said, this double is huge. Like if I'll just show you because I'm on this side now, so I need to go back to the beginning, but I can't get a running start and clear this double from that log. So you have to go at a speed good enough that you'll carry it through the log once you go under it, and then you can get that pop off to clear the double on the other side, which I've done. Like this is another section that, like I said, I've done everything on this track. I'm not an incompetent idiot that doesn't know how to do this stuff. There it is. Oh, nailed it. Look at that. Second try. I thought for sure that was going to take me forever. All right, so pop up here. That's simple. And now he's got this section here that you can see. It's got little like rivets that you can follow along. I'm sure that there's a way to do that and do it well, but honestly, this section is real easy to just kind of like ride over. And as I say that, of course, I'm going to fall down into the crevices. Come on, back it all the way up. Oh my goodness, flirting with disaster. So it's really easy and really simple to just kind of hop from section to section right there. No big deal. Like I said, I could have just taken the hard way and gone through and done that entire section as it should be, but I'll just bowl over it. Then this is like a staircase section up that is, the steps are diagonally. So it's really difficult because you have to kind of center yourself onto each step instead of just, riding straight up the steps and stopping and riding straight up the steps and stopping. But I like it. It's a unique challenge, and the steps are just barely the size of the bike. Come on. What is that? That is the dumbest little fall off right there. So the steps are just barely the size of the bike, from side to side. So yeah, it's a tight little space you got to try to fit the bike into. And I'm just going to crash up it, I guess. This requires a lot of precise backing up, which I guess I'm gonna have to do to make it up this one. Oh my gosh, what in the heck is happening here? Come on. Oh my goodness, what is happening? Why am I just being an idiot on this? This is not as hard as I'm making it look. There we go. Okay. Oh, don't fall. Don't fall. Oh, I got that rear wheel planted on the next ledge. Back up it. Haha, cheater way. That's not really the cheater way. It's just fortunate luck, I guess. All right, this one. Pretty simple. Get straightened out for this guy. Pretty simple. Get straightened out for the last one. And pretty simple. All right, I don't know why I was being such an idiot on those first two steps. It's not that difficult. All right, now this section, again, should be pretty simple, but I'll mess it up. Just gotta kind of jump up to here. And then this is really cool. It is a hip jump. And I just got, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I just did that clean. And then step up to here. Wow. I'm suddenly making much better time than I expected. And so double across this gap. I'm gonna miss it. Yeah. We'll go back and do that again because that just feel like I gotta get that one cleanly. I can't believe I just landed that hip jump so clean. That is a really hard jump to get because there's a wall that prevents you from getting like too far to the right to land on the plateau. So you have to really perfectly downside that hip jump, and I think I just barely got the back wheel on without having a frame case and a fall off crash. That was, whoo, doggy, that was close. Okay, come on, don't, you're kidding me with this. All right, turn it around and steady, steady. There it is. Okay. Hate when you crash on these things. It's like it's a ramp to get back up. It's not supposed to be rocket science. There we go. Don't want to go too far and overshoot it. I think this sign just says Sky Madness or something like that, so nothing really too special right there. All right, so double across, and you got to carry your speed into this, but not overshoot it, and I overshot it again. All right, again, I'm sticking with my mantra that I want to get every section, so I am not skipping to the landing of this one without having landed on it. If I land it and then blow the next corner, then maybe I'll rethink it, but I actually do want to land on the downside of it, so sticking to my story here. And I'm sure that people are well annoyed that this is already too long of a video or what have you. And for those people, I do wholeheartedly not care in the slightest. All right, made it to the top one more time. We're gonna get it this time, folks. Double across. Get the speed up. Why did I just, like, I had the angle right and I just barely gave a little nudge correction to the controller and it stood up hard right. That's one thing that I'm struggling with this game lately. I felt so attached to the controller when I was really good at the game a couple years ago, and now I just feel like there's these little subtle corrections of the stick that I make that just do way more than I ever thought. I don't know if it's my fingers slowing down or maybe I just have lost that touch that I had. I really don't know what it is, but I can't seem to get those little teeny little corrections right anymore. And I used to get them right for sure. Like, this is not something that used to be hard for me. There it is. Downside and land on it. Oh! Woo! That was close, but I salvaged. All right, on to the next section. This one's fairly easy here, just kind of like little rollers. In fact, I'm almost to the end, so hallelujah there. He puts little boards there again, which is really cool. Thanks for that again, Storken. Big shout out to you, buddy. And then this is just a staircase down that I really just want to try to get clean. Oh my goodness. Okay, so somehow I'm still on the ledge of this jump. Oh my goodness, I was crashing all the way down that hill. I went way too fast off the first one, but I just figured I'd send it. And then we just have these like little mogul section. And it's not little, it's a pretty big mogul section. And then I'll just crash right here, no big deal, but I'm back on the starting line. And I'll cross the finish line. Let's see if I can get sub 20. And the lap time doesn't matter about race time because it started a little bit after sub 20. 19:47 official lap time. Oh my goodness, and I got every obstacle actually completed. All right, I'll call that a success. You know what? That could have been a lot worse. I could have got stuck somewhere a lot longer. It took me 8 minutes to finish the first 2 sections, so I'm pretty happy with about 12 minutes for the rest of the track. But yeah, Sky Madness, round 7, Storken, just making life so difficult for me. But in reality, I do really appreciate that he saw that I was doing this track walk week here on SYS, and he was like, that sounds really cool. He's made these Sky Madness tracks over the years. I've been doing a lot of track walks on them in the past, so the fact that he saw it and wanted to finish the track that he's already working on, and that he included like those billboards with my you know, accounts and stuff like that on it, that is just really cool. Storken's a great guy. Would recommend not only this track, but other tracks that he's made, which I may now be required to do for track walks, since I don't think I've ever done any of his normal tracks for track walk. I've only done his crazy Sky Madness stuff. But yeah, he's a good dude. Definitely a fun track to try out. Challenge yourself, see if you can beat my lap time. And as always, appreciate you guys stopping by and watching another video of track walk here on Start Your Systems. So Kellen saying that I'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.